When the hospital called to demand my daughter's overdue medical fees again, my ex-husband finally stepped in and cleared our entire balance. He looked at our daughter, whose lips were tinged a sickly blue with her heart condition, his eyes swimming with guilt. "Let's get remarried. The child is innocent." I didn't hesitate. I merely nodded with absolute apathy. After we remarried, I stopped picking fights with his high school sweetheart. Our daughter Lily also stopped desperately trying to steal her father's attention away from his sweetheart's daughter. When his grand drone and fireworks show for his sweetheart's birthday made local headlines, my daughter and I didn't shed a single tear or make a scene. Even when we ran into them at the hospital, Lily and I merely kept our heads down and walked past them briskly. We became exactly what he had always wanted: quiet, generous, and perfectly behaved. Yet his eyes welled with tears as he asked, "Honey, why don't you check my phone anymore? Lily, why don't you want Daddy to stay with you anymore?" After finalizing the remarriage paperwork, I walked back to my department. Cyrus followed close behind me as we reached the door of the private pediatric suite reserved for Lily. The door was slightly ajar, and the sound of soft laughter drifted out. I pushed it open. Evelyn was sitting right by the bedside, peeling an apple for Penny. "Jillian?" Evelyn jumped up, looking flustered and helpless. "Please don't misunderstand. Penny was having such bad chest pains earlier, and Cyrus said it was fine to use this room temporarily. We'll move out to the corridor right now. We absolutely won't take Lily's spot." Her eyes welled with tears instantly as she clutched the hem of her cardigan, though her feet didn't move an inch. I offered a polite nod, remaining entirely silent. "Daddy!" Penny cheered from the bed, tossing the blanket aside to throw herself into Cyrus's arms. Evelyn quickly held her back, looking terrified of angering me. "Penny, how many times has Mommy told you? That's Uncle Cyrus." Cyrus looked at me, his expression deeply awkward. Seeing that neither Lily nor I had any reaction, a flash of surprise crossed his eyes. The bedside table was piled high with Penny's toys. Evelyn bit her lower lip. Penny is afraid of bitter medicine, so I had to use these toys to coax her into taking it. The air in the room seemed to freeze. I felt a gentle tug at the hem of my nurse's scrub top. Lily's lips were a sickly shade of blue. She looked up at me, her voice barely a whisper. "Mommy, I can use the extra bed in the hallway. I don't hurt that much." My heart clenched violently, a suffocating ache spreading through my chest. In the past, whenever Lily's chest pains flared up, she would writhe in agony across the mattress. She would cry, smash whatever she could reach, and scream at the top of her lungs for her father to hold her. Back then, Cyrus would always scold me with a cold face, saying that as a head nurse, I was spoiling our daughter into a brat. But now, even though her little hands were ice cold and her breath trembled with pain, she kept it entirely bottled up. She had finally realized, only children who are loved have the luxury of showing weakness when they are sick. Cyrus frowned. Evelyn hurriedly started packing up their things. "Jillian, please don't be angry with Cyrus. We're leaving right now." She held Penny, trembling as though I were some kind of heartless monster. In the past, I would have been shaking with rage at her manipulative, fragile act, turning on Cyrus in an explosive argument. But today, I just stood there quietly, my eyelids barely fluttering. Cyrus spoke up suddenly. "Evelyn, pack your things and take Penny out. Lily's heart can't handle any noise." Evelyn froze, her tears spilling over. Penny began to sob loudly. "Daddy, I feel sick. I want Daddy to stay with me." Cyrus hesitated, looking at Penny with pity, then glanced at me. I curled my lips into a faint, empty smile. "Since you care so much about Penny, Mr. Porter, it's only right that you go keep her company." He froze, clearly not expecting me to say that. He opened his mouth but found no words. Finally he muttered, "I'll be back later," and yellowed under the weight of his guilt, quickly leaving with the mother and daughter. The room finally fell silent. I expertly helped Lily change into her hospital gown and hooked her up to the monitors. A short while later, my phone screen lit up. It was a message from Evelyn. "Jillian, I'm so sorry. Penny had another heart spasm just now, and she wouldn't cooperate with the doctors unless Cyrus held her hand. He might not be able to make it back tonight." Attached was a video.